into Minecraft recently.
Yeah. Minecraft is popular.
Have you tried the bee mod or bees mod?
What?
Oh no, it's
What?
like you can just like apiaries and there's like honey and different stuff you can do with that.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say bees are already in the game.
We're already part of the game.
You're talking about Minecraft. Did you guys see that D&D release Minecraft stat blocks a little
Blah,
while
blah,
ago?
blah, blah. My mic was
Oh,
not
right.
on. God damn it.
Oh,
At least you figured it out now, this time.
Yeah.
Save in vain.
Except that like all my hello chat, welcome to the Minecraft podcast.
We're, the
That
dirt
part
blocks,
was missed.
Poggers.
Creepers, am I right?
Creepers. Oh,
I've
man.
been playing modded,
God,
and as I showed Ella, my I build things really massive. I do mega builds.
You didn't finish that one build
don't-
underwater.
Huh?
You didn't finish that one build underwater. You started streaming it and then never finished
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
On the
no, I
birthday, right?
finished it. It's done. Okay.
Anyways, Dungeons and Dragons.
D&D.
D&D.
Welcome back. Last time we
Hey,
arrived
Sock,
at
your thing
Quincy's
says Clover.
Tavern.
He is me.
I am Clover.
Identity theft.
I am now
Look,
the DM.
look, I can easy. Hold on. We can fix this. It'll be very easy, very simple. Super easy. Watch. It's going to be crazy.
Alien inconvenience.
And there we go. Now there's 2 clovers. I managed to fix this where Grozat is where I was. And also Chase's Grozat.
Yes, I invent things.
Uh,
Every time I think I did it all correctly. I did not. All right. Last time we made it to Quincy's Tavern.
woo, woo, woo.
And Quincy was just about to lead Grelzak to the back to show him
yes.
to the workshop.
The workshop.
Bro, get yourself out of there. Don't be in the kitchen. You're not allowed. No teleported into the kitchen.
Daniel.
Be on the map.
Yeah.
I want to be where the players are.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Like,
Enyo actually does get plot hold. Right back where she was. Down in the arena.
the other corner.
Yeah, I think she was in the bottom left corner.
Now, Grezal, you walk into this kitchen.
Okay.
And it is a buzz of multitude. There are many Warforged frames milling about. It looks
Okay.
more like a science lab than a kitchen. There's lots of like weird, like almost like an alchemy kind of thing, like with the beakers and the vials and the weird tubes. But it's not like alchemy chemicals. It looks like tea and coffee.
Mm.
But there's also mixtures of higher technology, like what comes from the core, and even some bits of magic of things working on their own. And then in the back over here, you spot dwarf hand washing dishes.
Okay. Can you do the thing so I can see the tokens big, or so everybody can?
Yeah, so
Like, would you mind going through them? They look
here
sick.
are the Warforged ones. Similar.
Woo-wee! I love it.
Here's another just different type of Warforged.
Oh my god. These are cool. I love the runes around them.
Yeah. And here's the dwarf.
Oh, he looks like he hates his job.
And of course, if anyone missed it from last week, here is Quincy. Yes, this is
Hey!
based off of the Quincy from Quincy's Tavern on TikTok.
So these Warforged, they don't look like Warforged from this world? They look like they would be otherworldly?
Yes.
So probably from the core, like you were saying?
Yes.
Okay.
They look very similar to the ones you met before as well.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, those ones were sick too. Okay. Are they doing anything, the Warforged? Or are they just
They're
kind of
just sort of miling about, carrying things, working on some of the technologistic ones, cooking eggs.
Cool. So there's actual normal kitchen stuff happening in here as well.
Yes.
Not just alchemy and building shit.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Is there any particular smell about the place? Or is it a mixture of like food and oil?
It's like a mixture of food, oil, and lavender.
Ah, lovely. Yeah, so Grelzad walks in, and I guess also, is there anything that is built or being like tinkered right now?
So not in here, no.
Okay.
And you see Quincy walk over this way.
Okay.
Follow me, Grelzad.
This is a wondrous place.
Oh, what the heck? What happened to my door? Why did it move? Yes, it is. There we go.
Oh my. These beings, are they programmed or do they have minds of their own?
These ones are programmed.
Oh, but there are some who have independent sentient thought.
Yes.
Wow. Truly amazing.
You walk into this room, and there's the two that you see of the Warforged, and you also see. This room looks very much like an office, kind of like a meeting room of sorts. And on the far end, there's some bookshelves, and there's like shelves of just different items, and a giant table in the middle. But as you walk in, Quincy like flips what looks like a switch or a lever of some kind on the wall, and the table sinks into the ground. All of the like meeting room stuff moves around, and out from the walls come workshop tables and tools, and it transforms into a workshop. And
Grelzad begins to openly weep.
and the far side where the bookshelves was, that splits off, revealing what looks like a garage door.
Grelzad is kind of like, I think I'm just gonna need a moment. This is
Yes.
what I imagine a mother feels like after giving childbirth. It's a miracle. And he just kind of like breathes for a little while. Snot is falling out of his nose, but he's like, eating it. And he's just kind of like looking around. Are there any sorts of like, so are we talking far out? Like even the tools are things that maybe Grelzad wouldn't completely immediately recognize, or does he see some familiar stuff?
There are some things that are familiar to you, but then
Okay.
there's things like things that just look odd. Like there's some laser drills, there's all-in-one tools, there's your regular screwdrivers, wrenches, and such. There's probably a sonic screwdriver lying around somewhere.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so he just kind of like takes it in awe and wonder, and he just kind of turns to Quincy and he's just like, this is so amazing, and I think we'll work wondrously together when we can. um I think I just need some time to process. Perhaps perhaps we should head back out and make sure that my compatriots are all caught up, but I'm formulating it now. I think I may have a proposition for you, aside from just the airship.
Sorry, can you repeat that last part, Rob?
Um, I think I need some time to process this, all of this wonder. Perhaps we can go back out with my compatriots, make sure that everything that was needed and required questioning has been settled, and I think, aside from just working on making the airship a true airship with you, I think I may have another proposition. But
Alrighty then.
I'll just need some time to think while we go back out. Thank you for showing me this.
Yeah, of course, of course. As Rosette and Quincy are walking back out, this would be when why does my brain stop functioning? Wait one sec. Enyo reappears in the arena. And I need Garth.
Yo.
Make me a dexterity saving throw.
Well, shit, ass balls. Is that a nat 1? That's a nat 1.
That's a nat 1.
That's a
Perfect.
nat 1.
Um,
For a total of like 2. Yeah, 2. This dice is going in dice.
okay,
jail.
you take 4 points of damage as
What
a
type of damage?
Huh?
What type of damage?
true damage.
Okay, sick. Lovely.
As a certain mellow falls through a plot hole right on top of you.
I got you.
Oh shit, Mello enter the world.
Oh wait,
And yes,
where am I?
Chase.
Where's my apartment? Ah,
Hey, I'm the character in the game that you play. Hey, Chase. Ow.
hey, oh, you're
Yeah,
as
I
hard
made
as
a rock.
always.
That probably.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
it.
Oh, please don't say that again.
Okay.
So,
Mike
where-
immediately begins to try to check Chase for injuries and make sure he's okay, and he's giving him little kisses.
Oh, it's like Chase clocks eyes, like, hey, buddy, I appreciate you, thank you. And then like Chase kind of picks him up or lets him levitate over his hand and places him on his shoulder. And then Emma pops up on the other shoulder, and then Weircat pops up above his head.
Do you want me to put you down?
Oh, actually, no, I deserve
Alright.
this. I've earned this.
Sure.
So where are we exactly?
I think Mike starts chasing the cats around on Chase's shoulders.
We're in. I wrote this down. We're in Quincy's Tavern. We're in the
Bessefellow.
Something Eagle. Right? It's the Something Eagle.
You just said that's a fellow.
Yeah, we're in
Beset
Bessefellow.
fellow.
We are in a. First of all, welcome back, Chase.
Lucky
Gross Ideals
Griffin.
from down the bar.
Oh, hey, girls, nice to see you, man.
We made it to where. Oh well, you could just look right past Mike. Where with Barian? This is where he said to meet.
Hello.
Lucky Griffin.
I know you've been waiting to meet your best friend again.
It's in this
Varian,
moment,
look,
Barry.
it's Chase.
Chase. It's in this moment, Chase, that you now phase through Garth.
What the shit ass?
What happens
didn't do
to
it.
Mike and Emma and Weird Cat? They're all
Look,
on
Weird Cat
Chase.
goes
They
with, right?
fall
That's-
through Chase as well into
Okay.
Garth's
You-
lap.
I got you, get. God, you
Mike,
are. a
Mike kind
weird
of
ass.
hovers.
So like Chase kind of like pushes his hair back a bit and it's kind of like this little stretch and gets up and says, "Yeah, no, that's two bad things today. Hi, Barian, how are you doing?"
Doing good. How about yourself?
I was better at a time. So I'm gonna. Hey, girls, that talk for me, please. I'm gonna. There are drinks here. Drinks. I'd like drink. Yes.
There are-
And then like. Yeah.
Quincy walks
Chase,
over.
yes,
This
back
is
to the bar.
Quincy, and as you can see, Clover, the new temporary
work here.
bartender as well.
Oh,
Clover.
I guess we're all achieving our dreams now. That's pretty great.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just
go
gonna
ahead.
say it. I'm really glad to see you guys again. You know, I always hate falling into pitch darkness. It's the pits, literally. So, yeah. What's next? Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm blanking on so many things right now. I felt like I've had like my first
So-
thought is the phrase "sexual awakening," but it's more of like a change in mindset recently. So, like,
So you're
I
at
want to
the age where
reorient.
you're going to go through some changes, right?
I'm
Your
53.
body- You're older than me.
Yeah, I've been older.
No,
I'm pretty
no,
sure I'm older than
guys
everyone here.
Aren't you older now?
Physically, I'm 53.
Oh. Well, you don't look a day
But-
over Chase's age.
Oh,
Thanks.
Huh.
interesting.
Yes, he rapidly aged at one point.
Yeah. Can you fix that?
God, probably. It's gonna take a little bit. I don't know why the fuck that happened.
I more meant Quincy, but if you can fix
No.
that too. Okay, cool.
I don't have that kind of magic.
Gotcha.
I would
To be
think
fair, I
So
don't
yes,
either.
I would think you would need maybe a cleric for that.
yeah,
Are there any clerics around here, Quincy?
Surge is a bard, right?
There could be. Not entirely sure. Let's see.
What's a cleric?
Someone who worships a god and gets power from that god.
Yeah, a cleric. Yeah, they worship a particular god, a benevolent god usually, and the
Well,
god
it could
grants
be.
them strength.
Wait,
And
wouldn't that
power
make
through
everyone here a
reverence.
cleric? I mean,
No,
Sorta. It's weird.
don't you worship a god? I'm pretty sure like everyone in here like.
oh, I
has some sort
I
of
don't
faith or
worship any
religion.
god. I have a reverence for all gods,
I don't
and
worship
I
a
don't
god.
draw magic from them either. I create my magic, pulls out all-purpose tool.
I can do
Mends
that too.
something.
But isn't the real magic and life inspiration you get from your faith?
I
That's
really thought you
deep
were gonna
as
say.
fuck.
I really thought you were gonna say the real magic is the friends we made along the way,
I thought you were gonna
No,
say
friends
friendship.
die. That's
and
a
I was
fact.
going to
Sorry.
disagree and
Yeah,
probably recall a dissertation I wrote at 23.
yeah. Friends
Okay.
are friends. Magic is magic.
Hey guys, let's stop right here. How old is everyone? How old
Yeah.
are you, girls? I'm really curious now.
And let me check what I put. It's 30 something.
Quincy, how old are you?
Yeah, girls that just says.
It's a good question.
I know I look like a dashing retiree, but I'm only 35.
Hmm. God, you must be
Okay.
so stressed out all the time.
No, I can't recall a time that I was stressed.
You talk to me on a daily basis, bestie.
That does not stress me out. That
Oh.
is taxing in other ways.
Oh, okay.
Chase flashes back to all the times girls had to stress him out. From the ferret thing to the fart in the bathroom.
As I tend to notice a lot of others around me gain stress, but I just see that as a lack of faith.
I'm not stressed.
No, Clover.
How old are
yeah,
you,
is rarely
Clover?
I love taking strolls with Clover. We're
I'm
very non-stressed.
69.
Are you
Nice.
actually?
I don't know. Can you roll a higher insight than my deception?
Can I
Let's
insight
see.
check Clover?
Contested roll.
I would love that too. Give me a
It's
second.
not great. It's not bad.
Let's see.
Insight.
11.
I rolled a
No, no.
12.
Yeah, she's not telling the truth.
All right.
Varian like puts his hand up. Is like, I'm stopped counting after 800.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay, yeah,
And
no one
then
asked you. So
This one here goes. I stopped counting after 1,000.
see, now that's interesting. That guy is cool.
Yeah.
I like that
Yeah,
guy.
that guy's fucking sick.
Yeah,
What's your name?
Name's Hunter.
we love Hunter. We stand Hunter.
We met
I would
20
say though,
seconds ago, Hunter. How are you?
doing good. I would say, though it's not by choice, like Varians. Varians is a age by choice. I'm just cursed to be immortal. Yeah.
Right.
By a curse set from my ancestors. It's a whole thing. I didn't even know about the curse until it happened, which is really annoying.
But you can die by like physical means, right? We learned that yesterday or 20 seconds ago. I'm not threatening to kill you, just to be clear. I figured
So
that.
first
You wouldn't be
he
able
looks the
to.
female bartender
I
in the
figured.
face and asks her age. Then he looks a man who claims to be immortal in the face and asks how to kill him, essentially.
I'm autistic.
Look, Hunter, all I know is we stand you now. So after all of our shit is done, we will make sure your curse is gone. If you want it gone, of course. We love
Yeah,
you.
if you want to be dead,
I actually love this side quest.
I don't really
Right.
care much for the age thing anymore, or the curse.
No.
Really, it's not too like overbearing. It's just annoying, right? But if you'd like to help me in some like missions, I would be glad to take you along and take you on with my squad. I'll pay you.
Speaking of missions, Chase. So, long story short, Agarmok has some sort of like massive barrier around him that blocks all magic ways of entry and just actually walking there. You were able to tell. Yeah, scrying didn't work. Or scrying maybe worked.
Scrying
Sending didn't.
Scrying also didn't work.
Scrying on
Ish.
Riley didn't work, but they were able to scry on Agarmok, right?
They're able to scry on the area, but not the people.
Gotcha. Yes. So we figured it has to be like a touch of divinity that to teleport you in there. So you might have to talk to your friend. We're meeting the Black Anvil in Galg. I think you knew that already, right?
I thought they were all dead.
No, only Riley and Dyrus.
Huh.
My dad and my mom and the other members are still very much alive.
Okay. So, first off, Hunter, we'll talk to you later. Then, like, just make a little heart with his hand, and then he looks to girls at Clover and Garth and says, "I really missed you guys from this short amount of time I've been gone. I assume time is weird. So, are we gonna be seeing the black? Hey, where's Enyo at?" And then he like looks around.
Enyo plot
Girls
holes
that
away.
moves out of the way.
Here.
Oh, hi, Enyo.
Oh, Chase just like runs over and gives Enyo a hug. And then like as he lets go, he then says, "Don't give me that juice again. It fucked me up real bad."
What juice you talking about?
The special juice, it was like peach, cherry, maybe a little blood. I don't know, but that messed me up real
There
bad.
was no blood in it. It was just peach and strawberry.
Oh,
Sure.
Yes,
That's
we've
what all
determined it
the-
was a devilish blend, but not because of having blood.
Ah, okay.
Enyo, how old are you again? 2?
2.
All right.
That checks out.
Yeah. Clover, do you feel comfortable sharing your real age?
I already told you.
She's 69.
You're fucking
69. Why the hell would you say that?
lying. You're literally smiling while you're saying it. Like
She's a happy
No,
person.
I'm not.
Oh,
Can I do like?
You
Can
really
I do
shouldn't
like
argue
a-
with the person serving you drinks.
I don't drink.
Can I do like a
You don't need
history, like an intelligence related check, like analyzing what Clover looks like, my knowledge of her race, and the time I've spent with her to get a good like a close guess of her age?
Sure.
What would you like me to do?
Roll me let me pull up a stats thing and see what we've got here for choices. Roll me an investigation check.
$15.
Ella,
You want me to see my
Can
actual
you-
age?
no.
Oh.
Message Rob your age range within 10 years.
Okay. I can make this really obvious, but okay. I'll do that.
she's been 5 this whole time.
I just realized I could have just looked at your sheet and given Rob the
I mean,
numbers.
this is
Still,
more exciting.
oh, okay.
This is more exciting. As soon as I start typing, I was like, oh, it's coming.
Oh, you don't
It's
even have it
coming.
written down. Oh, wait, yes, you do. I see.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's there.
that's a hood on Grelzad's character, isn't it? I thought that
It
was like
is.
part of his hair and like a back.
Yeah,
like
you
a
said that the
back
last
button.
time when I said Grelzad was bald. I said, yeah, he was wearing a cloak.
You're right. I did.
Yeah.
I forget things.
I made it really obvious.
Gotcha.
Oh my god.
Yeah, message you, sorry.
Grelzad, like, so you guys, like, anybody looking at Grelzad would see him kind of like eye Clover up and down, and then he's gonna pull out his trusty notebook, and you'll see him like sketching and doing like mathematical calculations and like reading through old notes, and then he's gonna message Clover, and he's gonna just say to her, I would estimate between 14 and 24.
Clover kind of gives him a stink eye.
Like,
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
That
Chase
yeah,
was
will
some-
walk
it.
over to Clover and like puts a hand on her shoulder, but then stops midway and is like, "Oh, do you mind if I like put my hand on your shoulder real quick?"
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And then he puts his hand
Same.
on her shoulder and says, "You can be 69 if you want to be."
I want to be 69.
Nice. And then he like
Yeah.
lets go.
Nice. Also, Clover, you're looking at Grelzad funny. Do you have something in your eye?
What's with you today? I can't just accept that I'm 69. You think about all of my looks. So judgy today.
Why being so judgy? This is strange, Garth. Shouldn't be so judgy. Gosh.
I miss
Now I
this.
give him a stink eye.
Is there something in your eye?
As you give Garth a stink eye, you notice someone new has appeared next to you.
How long has he been there?
Oh, he's been there about 3 minutes and 16 seconds, I would say.
Oh. What's he look like?
Yeah, can we see him?
Gib?
You've met him before.
We
Oh my
have.
god, who is it? Who is that?
Oh,
It's
oh,
John.
okay.
It's
John Doe.
Oh.
Yeah, that's John. He's just sideways. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I was like, who's this menacing dark man in a cloud? Well, I guess Grelzad will just look at John and he's going to say, John, you have the perfect opportunity to ask her the question. And he messages John to ask her if she works here.
John smiles. Oh yeah, Clover.
Uh-huh.
Do you work here?
I don't
Pulls out-
think so.
Pulls out a tankard and just like,
That's a difficult question.
Kind of like leans around him to look at Quincy. Am I being paid?
In exposure.
you see 2 gold pieces slide in front of you from Quincy.
She looks back at John. Yes, I do work here.
But in all hello.
Seriously.
In all seriousness, Chase, is that something that you're able to do? Contact Abistria, or?
I can definitely try. Actually,
Or do
hey,
You okay?
Darian, do you know how to
Oh.
contact? I guess your patron. You're like
Mistra?
Mistra. Thank you. The Mistra is chosen, right? Like I
Yeah.
guess. Is there like some specific way to like contact them, them, not your them?
So
Contact
I
Abistria
have ways
through-
of contacting Mistra. Every god has their own like special things they like doing, right? Some don't like talking to their champions. Some talk to their champions a little too much. You could also kind of force them to talk to you if they're a non-speaking type.
How
Hmm.
The traveler also mentioned Hermes, right?
Yeah, there's Hermes.
What if he like challenged Hermes to a race and then he came down and then he was like, a message.
So we want to challenge gods. That's what we want to do. That's the plan
Why
now.
would so you
I
would
have a massive
challenge the messenger of the gods to a race?
Well, I wouldn't actually race
Not
him. It
like
would just be to
an arm wrestling contest or something like that would make sense, but like you challenge him to the thing he is known for.
Well, I doubt he'd come down for an arm wrestling.
Trailside's gonna walk up to Baron and put a hand on his back. Baron, don't let him get you. He's getting you. He knows how to get to you. He's probably been thinking about it for like a month while we've been traveling. Oh, I'm gonna get Baron with my ridiculous things that I say.
Chase is eating this up.
He's honestly, and I'm gonna just say this out loud. Honestly, I very much loathed Garth at first, but much like a well-needed fungus in the cycle of life, he has grown on me. And
For the
he's
record,
that
I
fun-
still loathe you.
he is
I love
doing
you.
this. Varian, I know I don't have to teach you anything. You're smarter than all of us combined, but he's doing this on purpose.
For sure. Hey Chase, how am I doing?
I understand that. It's still just
Yes, I know it's ridiculous. He even got me a little bit, but then I caught it. But then you kind of went all in. So I just want to make sure, everything's all right. We haven't seen each other in a while, and many things have happened. Do you know I got an instant fortress, by the way?
I did not.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Oh, I
Have you
also
not
built
been-
a horse's carriage as well. I called it an airship.
Have you not been scrying on us 24/7? I'm kind of offended
Nice. at the
Why
contact
would
table.
I do that?
because we're your best friends.
He's doing it again. Buried. He's doing it again. And so Grezlet will pause, seeing Chase kind of walk up, and he'll say, "Just a moment."
And
Chase.
like before that happens, Chase
Sure.
Chase kind of walks off. He looks to this guy's name is Quincy, right?
Quincy,
Yes.
Yes. He says, I am so sorry about this. And then like Chase kind of puts a step on the counter. Yeah, counter. I don't know why I was thinking the word bar table. Anyway, on the
wow.
counter. And then he kind of like lifts himself up, like one leg, and then falls back. And I think what Chase is going to attempt to do is he's going to cast Misty Step, you know, like open a plot hole and fall in, but try to stay in there for a little bit to maybe try and contact Abystria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Can no, I'll wait.
And roll me a religion check.
Maybe can Grelza do an insight to see if Grelza like kind of recognizes what Chase is doing?
Yeah.
Okay, I got 21.
You can figure out what he's trying to do.
Okay, Grelza's gonna wait though.
So I guess that's 21 insight. I think what I can tell you with that too is that like what Chase is attempting is not just like kind of falling in, but like the reason he like lifted himself and I guess the kind of the facial expression he makes when he falls back, it's like he's trying to like give in and like, you know, trust in Abystria. It's like a trust fall into his patron.
So kind of like it's like a consternated concentration, but in order to let go, so you can kind of do both. Okay, got it.
So you for sure get in and you're sitting in this space for a few seconds before you fall through again, but not where you were intending.
Sweet one.
And in that
You're not allowed to do this.
In the same instant, you see the rest of you see Barian also fall through a plot hole.
Just got kidnapped.
Would you find yourself
Hello.
Mellow? Okay.
Yeah.
So did what you were trying to do work, or
I a little bit. Why are you? Did you follow me or?
no? I just the little black hole things that make you disappear for a bit.
Are we still at the bar?
Yeah, this is the arena.
Oh. Then look, Chase kind of looks up, but then thinks about it, then looks down, and then says, "Do you want me to like, you know, get this guy?" And that's like him trying to talk to Abystria. Like, is this what we're? Because if you say yes, I will not hesitate.
I don't think he's trying to get us to fight. I think it's the spell. And you see him pull out, like he has a tome on his side. He grabs it. He opens it, and he reads a few words, and the tome cover changes from like a chaotic looking cover that it had like colorful, almost like a rainbow explosion, and it changes to this pure white book. Or actually, hold on, I'm gonna check real quick. Yeah, so it's like pure white book, and he's like, I do have a spell that you might be able to contact Abystria with. The only issue is you can only ask 3 questions that are yes or no questions.
Okay. That. Fuck. Thank you, Barry, and that's very helpful.
Would you like to? You want me to do this?
I think I want to talk to my friends first to discuss the questions,
All
so
right.
we can get the right things. But
Yeah.
I really appreciate what you're doing for us. It's really kind.
Of course, no problem. I understand how hard it is to say that.
Chase just like walks out this way.
Hey, you okay? Was that
I'm
on
not.
purpose?
Yes and no. I'm suffering
did you
from
come
emotional
from?
damage. I don't know.
So Grelzad has like dumped out one of his tinkerer's bags, and there's stuff all over the bar, and he's just like feverishly working on what us in modern day would recognize as like a miniature cell tower, and he's just feverishly trying to put something together to like act as a communication device. That's what he's currently doing when they walk in.
Gotcha.
So as Chase kind of walks up back towards the group, he says to them, "So, with Varian's help, we can ask Abistria 3 yes or no questions, and it could help us, depending on what we ask, help us towards getting closer to Agramok." I think that was my first time saying his name. Did I say it right?
That was great.
Okay, cool. But
Cool.
so
Were you trying to fuck him up?
What? I said ogre mark.
So I think we need to think carefully before we like move forward. But I think one of them should definitely pertain to like something along the lines of, is there a way to get all of us inside or something like that?
But are you able to
particularly like
inside?
choose a location that we can kind of target and then go there, then find it in said area? Like, oh, if we head to East Galg, is there a thing that will take us there? Something like that. Or even more specific, like, is there a ruin, blah, blah, blah.
Can you bring all of us back to Riley? Because you went there once before, right?
Yeah, that was, first off, I actually don't feel as if Abistria had he had control of the situation, but I have doubts about going forward now that I feel like that was a one-time thing, is what I'm trying to say. But I don't know. We can ask that.
Right. Of course. They think that Agramok wants something from me. We met Serge, John Doe, and everyone else is a part of something called the Black Ring. It's a whole organization of powerful people, secret society type shit.
So when Garth says that,
not necessarily all powerful, but yeah.
When Garth says that, Grelzad will look up, and he's got like this very sloppily constructed, because he was working in haste and he's sweating. Because like internally, Grelzad's like got this like thing deep down that he wants Chase to be genuinely impressed. And he knows that if he can impress Chase in his head, then he might be able to impress Barian. And like Grelzad's whole thing is he has to make an impression on a god. So he's like starting to try to really work on trying to impress people, the more and more powerful. And like he sees Chase as like the next step up from himself in terms of magic power, and then Barian. So he's like working on this, but he looks over when Garth says that, and like as he looks over, his cloak like bumps it and it kind of like falls apart and makes a bunch of noise. And then he goes, "Nope, damn, Chase, yes." And he points over to the guy by the fireplace up here, and he says, "Because that guy's Surge, right? That guy was Surge."
Yes, that is Surge.
He says, "Yes, Surge. He is a herald, essentially. He collects stories. He actually." And Grelzad just kind of looks and he like thinks back to the insane amount of stuff he learned last time. "He might be able to save you some time on these questions. He might have some information, not all the answers, but he might be good at the questions."
Yes.
I think, Chase, maybe you might want to take a moment to go speak with him. I'd be happy to introduce you.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Can I come with?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yes, Clover.
Thank you.
Mike, give her a hand over the bar.
My short.
He like hovers you, like helps you hover up over it. And he's like, but as soon as like you get down, like he's hugging you. Like he missed hugging you. Even though you were like right there.
That's so cute.
But yeah, then he'll sit there and like he'll kind of like mess around with John Doe if we're walking over there. So provided that's what we're doing, Grelzad will lead Clover and Chase over to Surge. Kind of leave these 2 squares in front of him for you too.
So before you start, my food's at the door. I need to grab that real fast.
Okay, cool.
Why didn't you just order from the bar? It's so weird.
Look, I saw the prices. The drinks look good, but like I don't want to spend 26 on a pretzel. You know, it's.
Sock, is there would you mind just giving me a quick, as far as what you remember, like maybe one of the more important things that Surge said to Grelzad last time? I want to like use it to introduce the 2 of them to him. Like, because we were talking about the ancient ruins, we were talking about the artificer lady, the mighty servant.
This isn't something Surge told you. But Quincy did. That he's one of the ancients, the 6 ancients.
That Surge is one of the 6 ancients.
Yes.
Right. And so is the artificer lady. What was her name again?
I
feel like it started with a P.
It did not start with a P. That much I remember. It's
Dang it.
Where did it go? I have it on my other thing. I was literally looking at her name like 20 minutes ago.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold
I think
up,
I wrote it down
up
somewhere.
Ali Agrin.
Ali, yeah, that's right. Okay. We good, Melo?
Yep.
Okay. So, what's Surge doing as we walk over here?
He sort of like leaned back, playing on his lute, just chilled. His mouth is opened and he's singing, but it's a sort of heavenly sound that you wouldn't expect coming from him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very like angelic and high.
I see. It's reminding me of any time I had Harold sing "Happy Birthday" because I used the Frank Sinatra "Happy Birthday." Anyway, so I like, as we're kind of walking over, like Grelzad does that like kind of sort of slow walk, looking back, talk a little bit, walk a little, like make sure he doesn't fall over or talk a little kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So it takes us like a little bit extra to get over there, and he's just saying like, right, so there was some things explained to me. There's these ruins of the ancients up north of the continent above Galg. There's a lot of magical properties. They came to some sort of balance long ago, and there were many issues with overthrowing gods and all of this sort of situations. One of these ancients was somebody known as Ali Agrin, and they are currently off the radar, let's say. They are a master artificer, therefore I am remarkably interested in them. And he just kind of like looks at Chase and he's like, yes, that's right, because she made a mighty servant. Anyway, so as it turns out, and he'll, just as he approaches Surge, Surge here, not only a herald, is also one of those ancients. And I think, Surge, this is Chase and Clover. Chase, Master of Magics, Clover, Master of Spices. They are very excited to meet you and hear some of your tales. They may need some help, if you don't mind, in doing something that I think you would be very good at, which is asking the right questions to get the story you desire.
Mm,
So, if you
Hello.
wouldn't mind, I'll leave you to it, and I'll get back to working on this. I'm not actually like rolling and really working on
Yeah.
it. It's just like a aesthetic
Little
thing of the
thing.
communication
Yeah.
device. Yeah. All yours.
Hello, Chase, creator of Weird Cat. Clover, part-time tiefling.
Wait, part-time thief.
There was a
I've-
small stint there, if you
much.
remember, when Clover was blue.
Oh yeah, she's not blue anymore.
Oh my god, I feel like I've missed so much. Well, hi Serge. As I was introduced earlier, I am 17 Truths held by the Pie Chasing Quintessence. I am a 5th Circle Magi of the Tower of Quan from Interinia. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
And I guess my main question is, we've been given an opportunity, so I guess opening statement, we've been given an opportunity to ask a very old god of Bistria some very important questions, but we need a little guidance in which questions to ask. So if you could give a little assistance, that would be very much appreciated.
It depends on what you want to know. Abistra is a tricky god. One of the more secluded gods. Even I haven't met him.
It's not worth. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I just read the book, but I wouldn't go to the play. That's just me.
I see. Well, you are the leading expert in this building.
That doesn't make me feel confident about this. Oh my god.
It's all right. But I'm the expert in asking questions, so.
Fantastic. So I guess, like, when it comes to our questions, we're a little lost on the idea of, should we ask if he's capable of doing something for us? Because, you can be capable, but actually doing are two separate things. Or should we ask about what direction we should go in, be it a ruin or something? I don't know. I'm actually more stuck on something along those lines.
I guess at first you would say would be a matter of would he?
Oh.
I would ask that to start.
Yeah, that would.
As far as I understand, we don't know the extent of how much Abistria can move about within the blocked area. He might be able to get y'all in, might not. We don't know.
So, with this question of wood, are you saying, or would it be better to ask, would he do it, or would he be able to do it?
Would he do it?
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter whether or not he would be able to if he won't do it to begin with.
Okay. Also, I guess the next thing, and this is a slight sidebar tangent from these questions, is there a place in Galg where we can learn more about him? Or old gods in general?
In Gaug, there might be. No, there is. But it's not in Gaug. It's it's in a different part. It's on the close to the eastern border, close to the Elven territory.
Okay.
Actually, if I remember correctly, it is. I may be remembering this wrong, but it is close to the country you're from.
That's a little rough. He's been stopping me from going there for a little bit.
Quick side note
Ooh.
as a DM, where are you from again?
In Serenia.
In Serenia. Right. Okay, no. Yeah.
Why is he stopping you from going there?
I honestly have no idea. I've gotten close to the border twice. The first time I plot holed the moment I crossed, and the second time, like, I just looked in the direction after walking for 2 weeks straight, and again got sent away. So honestly, this is more conjecture than fact. I assumed it was because being home is counterintuitive to his goals and will, but you know, I haven't been home. I miss my mom. But either way. Oh God, I'm tearing up a little bit. Hey Clover, could you ask a question real quick? And then like Chase is gonna like sit down for like a second.
When he
Yeah.
says, "Can you ask a question?" She looks at Chase and she says, "What's your mom's name?"
I gotta find the doc. I only have his sister's name like queued up.
Why you do that?
Felt.
Welcome, Magnus. Thanks for the 3
Magnus
months.
just resubscribed for 3
subscribed,
months.
long-time
Viewer,
first-time chatter.
chatter, big fan.
Hi, Magnus.
Oh, her name is Heavenly Home Filled with 5 Pieces of Bread. She was a butcher, so you know I don't know why. I guess she chose that name before she
Butchered
got
wheat?
into like meat. Maybe she butchered. We never asked.
Clover's gonna turn to Surge and just say, "So I have a question, if I could ask you.
Fucked up.
You're good with like stories of the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means you probably sense like patterns of stuff, I would assume. You know, like if you read a lot of books, you can kind of predict the outcome of the plot pretty fast, even if there is, you know, sometimes, I guess, plot twists.
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
So, are you able to see like the outcome of stories before they happen?
No. I have my predictions, my thoughts. I don't interfere. Well, I try my best not to interfere. There have been a couple times where my guidance was sought out, and it in turn caused an interference, I guess, in the story. but I do my best to try not to interfere.
I see. So, if I were to ask you if what your prediction of my outcome would be after we make it, would you be able to answer?
The outcome on your end.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I just have a feeling sometimes. Do you ever like feel like if you do something, you might not make it out? Just stuff like that.
You'll make it out. That much is for sure. Can't think of any way it goes that you don't.
So I guess Chase would get up after hearing that, and then he then walks to Clover and says, "Hey, is it cool if I put my hand on your shoulder again?"
Always. You don't have to ask.
And then he kind of like gives a smile and a nod, puts his hand on her shoulder, and says, "I'll make sure you get out of it. Get out of this.
Maybe.
It's not a maybe. It's gonna happen." Do you want to hold my cat?
Yeah.
Like the Emma kind of climbs down his arm and onto her, and then he then like gets on a knee and says, "Clover, I know we haven't like gotten a chance to talk that much since we've been traveling together, but I legitimately want you to be happy. Same thing with Garth, same thing with Grozat, same thing with Clover. I meant to say Inyo. It literally bit my tongue there. Like, it hurts like hell, and I am dying internally. But regardless of the pain we suffer in the physical realm, I will do whatever it takes to make sure you come out of this okay. Okay?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I think there's some stuff I'd have to do first.
Okay. Well, if you need help with that, just let me know whenever. Even if it's too late, I will be there and it won't be too late.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Clover. You actually share a similar story with two fairly prominent figures. Well, you share a story with many people, but the place that your story heads to at the moment is similar to, well, one of the ancients by the name of Spider. You may know him nowadays as the Traveler. And the other, I think you're gonna meet him soon, so I won't say too much of him. But just note that if you, at the time of meeting him, still have any doubts of your path, Bellamy the General can help you answer more questions.
Who? What did he say?
Bellamy the General.
He's the one I'm gonna meet soon?
Yes. He's a little different. He's a little out there. Well, you'd have to be a little out there if you come from literally out there, outside the realm. So everyone from outside this realm is a little out there. But even more so Bellamy, as he is from between the realms. Hard to explain, but
Okay. Well, thank you. I didn't want to take up too much of your time, and I know Chase has more important questions, so I'll let him get
one
back
last
to it.
thing.
Mm.
My personal prediction is that after all this, you will never be able to go back to the easy life you had before.
Yeah, I can kind of see that happening no matter what happens next.
Wait, are you gonna kill Garth or something? Like, what's happening? I'm getting some mixed signals right now.
Did you say my name?
Yeah, but ignore it. But yeah,
I'm not good at that.
It might surprise you, but there are many people who Garth is on their hit list, so
I heard my name again.
Still not born.
It feels important if you're talking to Surge.
Wait, people have him on his
don't
hit
worry
list.
about him. Well, technically you all are on some people's hit lists.
That's
Actually, there's a
prejudice.
specific group currently looking for your specific group.
Huh?
Are you all not aware of the fact that there's a bounty on your head from when you helped Chan?
I mean,
and Chan.
don't think I've ever been there. Yeah, it doesn't really ring a
Nonetheless,
bell.
Same here. Yeah, not really.
there is a bounty on y'all's heads from Chan. And fortunately, when y'all left Ipasha, they lost your trail. So currently they have no clue where you are.
You guys feel Mike like just rush past you, the wind, and he like leans between both of your ears, chasing Clover, and he just goes, "Felony." He floats away.
He has a point. But no, wait, hold up. No, that was Slicer, if I remember correctly.
Huh.
Didn't we learn Slicer's actually like a good guy in a weird way or something? I don't remember.
What do you mean, a good guy?
I don't know. You probably have to ask somebody that was paying more attention to whoever was talking about that.
It's probably the fact that he's
Surge, too,
part of
good
the
guy.
Black Ring.
Yeah.
Who's the Black Ring again?
John Doe's
It's like
organization
true.
that protects the realm. This is its
Um,
headquarters.
yeah, it's
So,
probably John Doe then.
here's what I will say about that. It's personal opinion. Just throwing it out there right now. So, if someone shits in your mouth, it doesn't make it any better if they're a philanthropist, okay? That doesn't take the taste of shit out of your mouth. So I don't care if he's in the Black Ring. I do not care if he saves babies and does heart surgeries on the daily. He still shat in my mouth. And him doing those things will not take the taste out, nor will it stop him from not shitting in other people's mouths.
Is someone
That's true.
talking about shit a lot?
I was gonna say you're saying shit a lot. You good?
It sounds
Chase?
like. Do you need a jar?
Is that to help get it in my mouth? Anyway.
No, that's for me.
No, you sit up.
Welcome back, Chase. We're describing something that sounds like a blight to you, but a good time to others. Anyway, I'll ignore you again.
I will say,
So
Chase, you may want to avoid Tuesdays in this location then.
Today.
Is that shit day?
Sorry, there's a hair in my mouth. and it's
Oh,
not
it's the
leaving.
worst. I hate that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's today?
Today's Monday.
Okay. But so, by the way, tons of questions. There are realms between. Like I've studied the wheel so much, and I didn't realize that there was like stuff in. But that's crazy. But back to being on task. I've talked about shit in Garth way too much today. So I said your name, yes. So
You said shit, and are you gonna shit on me?
no,
Thank
that's
you.
not okay.
And like, 'cause it's Monday.
No, but future historians might.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, baby girl, I'm so
My
sorry.
legacy will not be remembered well.
At the
I'll try my
moment.
best. But anyway, so I guess I want to round out these questions with would it be possible with the limited knowledge of Abystria, would there be a way to convince him to do other favors? As in, like, historically, has he been the kind of person to say, or to be asked, I'll do this for you in return? Like, does he make deals? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
All gods make deals. Usually. It depends on whether the thing you offer them benefits them or not.
So, what kind of deals has he made in the past? Is he like a sacrifice this baby and then, yeah, I'll get you there? Or is he like a feed 10 starving puppies and then, yeah, I'll bring back your dead son? Like, what kind of deals does he make?
He tends to make very specific deals.
How specific are we talking?
Usually it's a deal of the sense of, I do this for you, and you give me time of your life.
He's one of those. Okay.
Not in the way you think. It's not necessarily like he takes your life force. It's more of a, he goes,
Slavery.
not slavery. It's more of a, for example, using the example of taking you to the Southern Pass. If you tell him, take us to the Southern Pass, he'll be like, okay, I'll take you there, but in return, I require 1 day of work every month from you.
For the rest of their life?
In a sense.
Would they have to go back to their location every time? How would this doesn't make any sense to me?
Almost just
We're all having trouble talking today, huh?
who just take you there, you know, being the god of the plot holes and sort of moving you from bits to bits.
It makes sense.
He could just. So it's usually something like that. Granted, there was one case once before with the other champion, where he didn't take anything in return. So not entirely sure on that front.
Okay. Well, I don't want to leave my friends just like doing any looks to where it's like like Krozad and Garth. I don't want to leave them doing whatever they're doing. It seems, I don't know. So I have one last question for you, Serge, and this is kind of personal. Based off of what Krozad said to me, you kind of have a distinct knowledge of the past, correct?
I do.
So, do you know people's personal past? Like, do you just know what people have gone through?
No, I still have to go and read it. But I do have access essentially to the records of the past.
Okay.
Not really like a library. It's like a library for the gods kind of thing.
Yeah.
That and
that's
every
right.
once in a while, I'm given the ability to actually go and visit.
So, my question to you is, based on what you said, I don't have any kind of recollection about it or anything, but did I make some sort of deal with the Bistria that
Oh,
I
you
just don't
mean
remember or something?
to be his champion?
Yeah, like I still don't understand why me, and you said that he trades time and service slavery for axe, so I what
Why
I
you?
still don't understand what this is.
I would say that one's not in the records. That's a personal choice of his. You made no deal with him. You've not spoken to him before that moment that he chose you. That was just he picked you. Uh which is very annoying because, well, you don't know much. You didn't get to choose, essentially, which is not fun.
Fun at all.
But the past does tell us that while you didn't have the choice to choose, you do have the choice to leave.
Could I leave right now? Like, okay, can I just throw this guy away right now? Because I will do it. Yes.
Try. Uh so far from what we've seen, because any champion can decide not to be the champion, right? That's not a necessary thing. Well, ish. People like Spider wasn't much of a choice, or rather, there were no other choices. But it's dependent on different gods, right? There are some gods that it's been shown that when their champion leaves, it's catastrophic. Both We've seen both for catastrophic for the world and catastrophic for the champion. But then, as with Mistria, the last champion he chose left, and nothing really happened. So,
Huh. Yeah, that's definitely something to ruminate on. I'm gonna go back to my friends. Unless Clover, you have any other questions for Serge?
I guess just one general one. Do we all make it out alive?
Yeah, do we all make it out alive?
see, that's the
Do
tricky
it.
part. I would say yes, but it's also a matter of who do you consider we all?
Our group.
Oh,
And Riley? Forgot about him, sorry. Yeah, zoom a bit.
yes, I think you do. It would seem like you do. Like I said, I can't really tell the future, but based on patterns of stories in the past, I'd say you all make it out.
Cool.
Okay. Well, that's a little relieving, I guess. Thank you.
Welcome.
Oh God, it just hit me. Okay, Clover, if I die, I need you to take care of Emma, and I guess I'll give Weird Cat to Inyo. Yeah, that seems fair.
Okay, you have to tell me how to like feed her and stuff. I'm not really a cat person.
Oh, if I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't been feeding her. She's been finding food herself,
Oh.
and then like I've been like kind of like okay, so I have fed her a little bit, but it's been mostly her.
Okay.
She's
Noted.
really smart. She reads.
Oh, maybe I am a cat person.
Yeah.
You could try reading to the cat.
She would love that.
Okay, well, that was it for me. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, great talking to you, Serge.
And he goes back to the singing that he was doing as y'all had approached.
Hey guys.
Hey, what you guys got there?
I don't know. Girls had asked me to bend.
Right. So, like I was saying, if you choose Tuesdays, you just call it shit in my mouth Tuesdays, maybe shit in your mouth.
Yeah.
And, you just make sure for the nut allergies, the corn allergies, I know they don't digest quite as well in humans. I don't know if Elven or the Gnomish, Dwarvish, I don't know their digestive systems. I know if you have cow manure, they have 4 stomachs. Yeah, yes.
What you building?
Oh, well, sorry, I've got shit on my mind.
I figured.
What is that? So this Grelzad was talking to Quincy that whole time,
Yeah.
trying to pitch it. What is
Quincy's
the look on Quincy's face?
He looks interested in your conversation and your idea and in your delivery of the idea. And when you finish, he's just like, I think I've heard of a place where they do that. So I'd rather not interfere on their business.
That's fair, but do they do it on Tuesdays?
I assume I'm whispering
Think
for some reason, but
they do it every day.
yeah, I was gonna say I assume if that's their entire business model, then they do it every day.
Well, the business model could have been a 1-day-a-week thing. I don't know.
Anyways, Chase
Right,
and Clover, what'd you guys find out?
Well, what I was making.
Oh yes.
I was trying to work on a communication device, to communicate with a god. My idea was to create this sort of coil to surge the energy through, send out a signal of some kind. But I would think you would need. I would probably need to leave a portion of it open to insert some sort of symbol of the god attempted being contacted. So I'll probably put this to the side for now. And yes, Garth has a good question. What have you discerned from research?
I heard my name a lot, and
yes, you guys gave me the idea of shit in my mouth Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So is it like a pop-up shop that like shits in your
maybe
mouth?
we don't ask about shit in my mouth Tuesdays.
About shit in your mouth. Wow.
That's what Grouse had called it.
Well, you have to call it shit in my mouth because that's indicating that the patron is consuming it. Whereas if you say shit in your mouth and the patrons are the ones shitting, and he looks at Quincy, that might not be something already taken.
Hey, Growlsad, bestie, important. non-shit related conversations.
Okay. As I like absent-mindedly looks around the bar. Where are these conversations?
Right here. What'd you guys find out from Surge?
Oh, right. I did also ask that. Yes.
Yeah.
So the first question we should ask is, would he be willing to send us?
Okay.
And we have two after that. So I'm thinking we should either use one on a location to go, or use one to check his susceptibility to a bargain of our own design. As in asking, hey, if we did this, would you send us?
Well, you talked to him once, right? When you stabbed your hand on the ship.
That was more of like a one-way kind of deal. Like
Oh, okay. You didn't.
that one was that wasn't really much of a talk.
Got it.
Also,
Did you ever-
my hand hurts so much when I think about that.
I know
Right.
you haven't taken any damage, but cure wounds.
I did take emotional damage earlier. I appreciate it.
I can't fix that. That's for
Girls, I
therapy.
don't kind of like shout that into Barian. Barian, is this question asking thing? Do all three have to be asked at once, or can it be like one and then like a couple days later another?
No, they have to be all in once.
All right.
I'm only able to, essentially, the way it works is you call upon them. And so
What's the spell? Augury?
you are able to call upon them, and then you just speak to them in that moment, kind of like a sending message.
Oh, I see. I see.
They don't actually even
Yes.
appear here; they just answer,
Right.
and sometimes they
Yes.
don't. But I have a way of doing it where it will answer.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice. And he'll turn to Garth. Garth, you shouldn't ask a wizard what his spells are called. You know, it can be seen as offensive.
I mean, he's right.
Well,
You really
fuck.
should just stop trying to guess everyone's spells.
It's fun. It's like a little game I play in my head. Oh, hey, there's my
Played it
voice again.
dead.
But I can't get the answer if
All
I
right.
don't ask.
Gross is gonna like stand up in an effort to promote friendship, and he'll go into the end of one of his notebooks and rip out a bunch of pieces of paper, and he'll take out a pen and use his all-purpose tool to etch Garth onto it, and he'll hand the papers and the pen to Garth, and he'll say, "All right, anytime you'd like to guess what someone is about to say, what their spell is, what the magical item they want is, write it here. And at the end of each week, we'll talk about them and see if you were right."
I like that. That's a great system, actually. Thank you.
All right. See? Friendship. And he'll look at Chase. Friendship. I am trying to learn about it. I hope this is looking well.
Chase gives
Speaking
a
of
thumbs up.
that, Enyo,
Oh yeah, and
Enyo, are you mad at me? You sound like a messaging system from another world.
dial up.
Not dial up.
never
If you're
heard
talking,
dial-up.
Erica, we can't hear you.
Okay, maybe she's just
I think she is mad at you.
mute for the day. Oh,
Hello.
Enyo?
My stupid mic on my stupid computer wasn't working.
Oh, it's all good.
Enyo, I was trying to get your attention for so long, for the past, I don't know, like, I would say about 38 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
Yes. Do you have temporary deafness and blindness? Do you need cures?
No, I have selective hearing.
I do not understand the difference.
Well, temporary means that it wasn't my choice, and selective means that it is.
Right. So have I offended your familial line in some way?
No, I was busy in my head.
Oh, I see. Well, and he'll like point at the communication device, and as he does, he like accidentally bumps it and a bunch of it falls over. I really could have used your inspiration. Maybe next time it'll be all right. I forgive you, friend. And he kind of like bows towards her, like incredibly awkwardly.
Okay, I accept your forgiveness. What?
What? I have to. Oh, yes, good, yes. You see girls out like just fighting, like there's like an intensity of rage happening in his mind right now. And he like it's discernible on his face and he like calms it like if you ever saw the Serenity Now of Seinfeld, like he's doing that. It's very unhealthy.
So, like, Chase puts his like hand on Grozat's shoulder, and then, well, he's about to. Then he stops. Like, can I put my hand on your shoulder?
Yes, you may.
He then puts his hand on his shoulder and says, "You're doing a great job, and like we all recognize and appreciate the strides you're making."
Thank you. He'll pull out a small piece of paper that he's been writing on, creating a petition to have shit in my mouth Tuesdays at Quincy's. Would you sign this in that case?
Touche. And then like Chase kind of like grabs a writing utensil and starts signing it.
He'll like be trying to kind of like hide it from Quincy, but not like enough to be a role. Like just if Quincy looks, he'll see it, but he's like kind of making it not visible.
So you're not mad at me anymore.
But I wasn't mad at you. Why would I be mad at you and incur the wrath of your smiteful blade of blood?
You
What? What?
Speak louder, Ennio. You're at the very end of the bar.
You're very far away.
think I'm smiteful. Thank you so much.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, yes. In fact, I've been. I'll probably talk with Quincy about it, but I've had my eyes on some alternative, less sturdy automaton models, ideal height and appearance for kicking. If you catch my drift.
King.
Real, it can't be fake.
Oh,
It
it'll
takes
be
away
real.
the thrill.
Oh, it'll be real. It will just require wishful thinking. Anyway, Chase, did I hear mention of something that I should have probably said before I sent you over there? Slicer.
Yeah, just I guess just fuck that guy, right?
I mean, honestly, true. But here's the situation. There might have been a small misread as to what he's actually doing at the orphanage. I could tell you, and it would possibly change your spiteful ways that I agree with, based on what the knowledge we had. Or I could leave you in your blissful ignorance to enact revenge at some point in the future, whichever you prefer.
Fuck it. Tell me. Yeah.
Right. So, and he just looks like he looks kind of shy. Like he's having these looks about him that you guys have never seen because he's been like looking in mirrors and practicing shit. And he's just like, right. So we thought this was a cuckoo crazy person exploiting children and forcing them to go steal on the streets and be otherwise juvenile ne'er-do-wells. However, as it turns out, he actually is providing them with housing and food and training because they are orphaned and they were previously dying on the streets. And so he is providing them with potential skill sets so that they may survive on their own should some benefactor like him no longer be around.
So it sounds to me that instead of providing them with skills that could be useful to their community society, like, you know, like baking or being a doctor, he's training them into his own workforce until he's dead.
Thanks for mentioning baking as useful. I appreciate that.
That actually was a good friendship thing. So he is not making them work for him. Like they're free to go.
But
you are correct
making
in the
them
skill sets.
perpetuate. Yeah.
You are correct in that one portion. So while I think, and Grelsad's looking around, like, especially in the presence of many people and the headquarters of the guild of which he is part, who are all intently listening on our decisions here, perhaps instead of, you know, hunting him down and destroying him, maybe it could be hunting him down and having a tea and a chat about his methodologies. And I feel maybe we don't have all the information. Perhaps. But I will say, as I've said to Enyo repeatedly on this trip, I support your thirst for revenge.
It fills me with joy that you feel that way, Grozad. Like, I appreciate you, and man, I have to say, I also really appreciate you going out on the limb to voice your feelings, even though they're of opposition to one of your friends, because that can be really tough. I respect that. I respect the hell out of you.
Right, feelings. I'm voicing my feelings, not stating truths. I'm voicing my feelings, not stating truths. Got it.
But what I will also say is that I'm not going to destroy him in the physical sense. And more importantly, like, even if his friends are here, and then like kind of Chase kind of like this little dance motion pointing around everyone, like, you know, not everyone likes their coworkers. I mean, how many people have we met that don't like Barian? And then Chase kind of, as I said, he kind of like points at Barian, and then he says, so I'm pretty sure they would love to see them with egg on their face. I would love 100% to see them with egg on their face.
Pretty sure there's an entire kingdom that wants to see me with egg on my face.
That is what I like to hear. That makes my day. Any day.
Wow, and Barian, how kind of you to provide those kingdoms with persistent clones on which egg can be placed. That is very thoughtful of you. What a gentleman. He like smirks at Chase like really hard and like does like an annoying like wink at him.
I don't understand what's happening and I feel like my fun is dying.
Sorry, I'm doing the thing that you just said you were doing to them to you. Yes, see.
Okay. Yeah.
Little flippy floppy doodah, as I've heard before, I'm sure.
It's a Freaky Friday, which is, fun fact, 3 days after Shut Your Mouth Tuesday. I signed for that, so I have to endorse it from this point forward.
True. Contracts binding. Our petitions contract.
I need everyone to roll me a perception check.
Thank you, Sock.
Hello, roll with advantage.
Woo! I don't see. I'm so focused on whether a petition is a contract. I'm fucking gone. And Mello's fucking Chase is so not giving one single shit that he sees everything ever.
So,
Wow,
yes,
we all
exactly.
rolled really well.
Exactly as Grelzad said. He's paying attention to what he's saying, and everybody else notices in this moment that Clover grows an extra arm.
Is it a left or right arm? Is it just the arm? Does it have a hand? These are important questions.
Even or odd?
Even.
It's your dominant side.
Nice. Does it have a hand though, or is it just an arm?
Yes, it's an arm with a hand.
Just a stub. It's just starting to grow
Well.
up the side of you. Oh, yeah.
Garth,
Clover-
that's rude.
I get that. Yeah.
Garth, I would actually advise you, this is Quincy, by the way. I would advise you not to react like that.
Sorry. Sorry.
Due to fortunately for you, there are none here today. We
Oh,
do
I'm fine
have
with
many we have many 3 keys as
Yeah.
regulars, so
Yeah, I'm fine with people having other appendages. It just grew out in a weird way.
Is it weird? Because it's on me?
No, I never implied that.
it also
whatsoever.
didn't grow out. It just appeared.
Maybe it's always been there and you just haven't paid enough attention to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
I was
looking at
that's ever
Your
happened
eyes
to her.
earlier.
Or Clover has been lying to you all this entire time, and she's actually a great sorcerer and has been hiding it as an illusion.
This
Clover,
is the exact truth.
Insight check.
My,
It's not
that's
great.
that would be
Seven.
quite
So bad at lying.
I rolled a 7.
alarming.
Yep.
It's a good one, girls. That good one.
Thank you. I missed you. I mean, yeah, thank you.
I
Hey,
don't
Clover,
think
I
you're a
promise that as long as I'm here, you'd be okay. Do you want me to chop off that arm?
Can she move it? Like, does she just suddenly know how to control it, or is it just hanging there limply?
Yeah, no, you can control it.
Wow.
That's OP as shit. You could hold a shield.
I don't want a shield.
I have a shield if you need an extra
What
shield.
part of I don't want a shield makes you think I want a shield?
Why do you not want a shield? Shields are fucking sick.
Because I just said I don't want one.
I also
Quincy,
don't think 2 shields would work anyways.
Quincy, could I just have a slab of any kind of cooked meat? Could I order one cooked meat?
Yes.
Anything. Great.
A cooked meat appears in front of you.
Clover,
Yeah.
you could spice this faster. Slides it
While
over to her.
holding it.
Slides it down to her.
She picks it up with her new appendage.
Hey, Ella. Roll me a dex save.
Save?
Does she have
Yes.
advantage because she has extra arms?
No, she does not, actually.
Dang it!
An 11.
That's
An 11.
awful.
So you go, it slides over, you pick it up. What do you spice it with?
Just salt and pepper, probably because it's Quincy's and he probably already has really good spices on there.
You start putting the spice and pepper, and then you see it fall, and you are unfortunately unable to catch it.
My
as
arm?
your
Oh.
arm has disappeared.
Oh.
Can Grelzad notice it fall and try to catch it with his mouth?
Yeah, roll me a perception check first.
Oh, your arm's gone.
10.
Roll me a
It's
dex.
not gone. It's just I made it
Roll
so you
me-
can't see it again.
I don't believe you.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Yeah. You see it start to fall, and you run over to try to catch it, but Garth gets in your way and you trip and fall.
What did I do?
Oh,
Ow. Meat
are you okay?
Grelzad crawls on his elbows and knees over to the meat and without touching it with his hands eats it.
I said, for someone so smart, you're so weird.
What? Hold on, wait. Do I have something
That's
I can? What do you mean? What makes this weird?
So Chase
Live your life.
cast Mage Hand to kind of grab the steak and then lift it so Grell's can eat it while just standing normal.
Okay, so let me paint this picture for you. Grell's on the floor on his elbows and knees,
Yeah.
eating the meat. It's in his mouth. He's like chewing on a little bit of it and swallowing and like kind of sucking it in like a dog. A mage hand comes over to grab it. Grell's is definitely fighting the mage hand for the meat like a dog. 100%.
So Clover and Grell's, you good? For Clover and Chase. What? You guys never answered my question. You need the Heimlich? You never
What's a
answered
Heimlich?
The hemlock.
the
Hemlock, you're trying to poison me? Mage
Never.
hand, get back here. He gets up and starts chasing the mage hand.
It's like a laser pointer.
Yeah. And like you guys talk a little bit, and then like if you look back at Grell's like the mage hand's just like calmly feeding it to him. If Chase decides that's what he does.
So you guys were talking about me over with Serge. Am I gonna die?
No, I actually
No,
specifically
actually.
asked that.
Are the Black Anvil gonna die?
Never asked.
Oh, I honestly don't care.
Yeah, valid. Valid. Do you think I am gonna go ask Serge if my
Remember,
Did
I already asked if Riley was gonna die. He's not gonna die.
and,
Oh,
and
sick.
also
That's all I cared about.
Serge
Thanks.
is not necessarily a prophet. Like he's
No,
an analyzer of stories. So
he's just looking at the patterns and the
yeah.
path of what we're all going on right now. I guess, like the outcome based off of what we're doing.
like
Yes.
an algorithm?
Girls have to
Every
sit back down.
decision makes a change, and that
Who
change
said that?
ripples through the lays.
Yes.
That's John.
Hi, John.
I've been
Yes.
standing here the entire time, directly in front of you.
I know you're
Well,
very
not
still.
necessarily adjacent, but
Who's Jason?
I don't know.
All right,
I had a friend named Jason back in the day.
I did too. Over
Yeah,
in
Jason
over in
died.
Swamp Pass, or
No, Mythin, actually. It was a very
nice.
strange name for an elf, but that was his name.
right. Jason the elf.
So where are we going or doing now? I'm kind of bored of sitting at this bar.
Are we
No
asking...
offense, Quincy.
None taken.
Barian help Chase book question.
Okay, so guys, first question we gotta ask, obviously, is would you be willing to do it?
Yeah.
And then we still need to determine, because we have been just, I guess, chuckle fucking around this entire time. But
I think I have a potential question.
okay.
Will acquiring the mighty servant aid in our endeavor?
I like that.
Okay, I think that'd be a good question 3.
Yes, lower priority for the rest of you. However, if it was my book, they would all be mighty servant related.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just
I guess the
for the
reason
record.
why I would make it a 3, not because of the validity of the statement, but I feel like all situations would be better with a mighty servant.
Not
I was thinking
quite
about
all.
that.
If we had to infiltrate the home of a mouse, then it would be too large, I believe, on account
What's
of the
about-
mightiness of it.
What if it's a very
Touché.
big mouse?
If the mouse is large and its home is also large, then I could see it coming in handy there. Now, and he just he'll drone on for another 3 or 4
Yeah.
minutes, regardless of people talking about
Yeah.
the situations where it wouldn't be helpful.
So yeah. Hey Chase, just out of curiosity, would you be able to illusion Riley, like what you like illusion RK? So just to make sure that we're not saving some random person, because I'm so down to save some random person, but also
Oh, you just want to see what he looks like what Shay saw? Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, so not like a sex thing.
No, I don't
I
want to
mean,
fuck the illusion.
It may be borderline. He was kind of chained up and stuff. I don't
Right.
think you.
Do me right now.
I've
Illusion
You
me.
up?
No!
He takes chains out. He starts putting them around her.
No! Illusion me up.
I've seen Riley chained up before, so I'll probably recognize him.
I don't want to be the volunteer anymore.
Well, Chase can just. It doesn't have to be projected onto someone. It can just.
I
Be
just don't want
projected.
to in general now. Like,
We-
anyway.
Would you be able to?
So, Sock, I don't remember. Oh no, you messaged me on Discord. Let me double check the description to see how my visibility was on that. Sure, go found the message.
While he's searching his memories, is there anything we can think of for the second question then?
Yeah.
Is this are we having an OOC chat real quick? Is that
I think that'd be best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Artifacts.
I
Again,
don't
it's
think
just
we
no
should.
questions.
I think the only artifact related thing
Yes
is
or
Mighty
no?
Servant.
Yeah. You're right.
I think the only artifact thing is Mighty Servant at this point.
Yeah.
Because we have piles and piles of shit, and I'm sure Sock has some more along the way for us on the way there. And then yeah, like being able to get in, that is correct. I think that is the most important
Yes.
thing by far.
Yeah.
Secondary, we like there's a million secondary sort of like maybe not quests, but like shit to do with each of us. And a lot of the overlap with those that isn't Mighty Servant is this Black Anvil situation. So I feel like asking a question related to like either Black Anvil or the party chasing us.
See,
Because
Black Anvil is probably more important.
one or both of those could be a hindrance to the main mission. So asking a question about dealing with them before we go there, or like something dealing with them. I don't know what off the top of my head right now.
I'm super biased, but I think are the Black Anvil and are their intentions good? Or
That's a super not yes or no question.
are they good? Yes or no?
Good according to who?
It could be, well, according to that god, I guess, is what
The benevolent god?
Yeah,
The
so
benevolent
it's
Abyssria.
it's not a great question. I think something along the lines of like, look, because also like in character, we have I think none of us have any clue why Riley was targeted, why he's up there, who's working with Ogremok to enable this.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well,
if the Black
we know
Anvil's
that a little
working
bit.
with Ogremok, then they are a problem and they might stop us on the way if there's like some MacGuffin that we need to like make that not a problem so we can do our face off. Something like that.
So
Black Anvil aren't evil; they're just dicks.
So I think a good question we can all agree on when it comes to both the Black Anvil and the Ogremok situation is, what if we ask them along the lines of like, either is there someone controlling Ogremok? Because like, why would he just himself decide to take Riley? I feel like there's some higher thing, and having knowledge of at least that would be great. Or we can ask like, do the Black Anvil intend to use Ogremok for some goal we can think of? I don't know at the top of my head right now.
So
like
the we know that the Black Anvil want to meet Garth in Galg so that they can so that Garth can go with them to
basically a re-recruitment situation.
Yes.
Right. And we know
So, I don't think
that there's
involved.
Issues.
Yes.
And then for Grillzed and Chase, not necessarily that there's issues, but we have like magical concerns about it all overlapping. And Grillzed would definitely agree with Chase about if Black Anvil has control of Ogremok, that is a big issue because it could be that like it could all be what if I just ask if it's a trap to save Riley? Like if getting us there is a trap.
I fully think it is. Yeah, is it a trap? Yeah.
Is it a trap?
Is it a trap?
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Wait, isn't Ogremok a god? Do you really think the Black Anvil would be able
he's
to just
not-
control him?
He's not a god. He's below a god.
He's
the
like a
prince of
demigod?
yeah, sort of.
Sort
He's
of
the prince of
demigod.
elemental. He's partially the ruler of the earth plane.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not a full god.
No, but the Black Anvil are not that powerful.
So
They suck at their job.
you had said something about like figuring out, like asking why Riley.
Yes.
Something a yes or no version of that. Yeah.
How would we ask that in a yes or no version?
Is Ogremok trying to lure Garth?
Maybe, but
Is Riley bait?
Really,
that
what?
covers some
Bait
of it.
ooh-ha-ha?
Yeah.
Boot bait.
Sorry,
Ooh, ha, ha.
Ooh, ha, ha. I suppose. Yeah. Oh God, how do we ask something to get? The only way to do a yes or no is if we have a guess
Yeah.
as to why
I think-
Riley. Right now, our only guess is
To Lord Garth.
semi.
Yeah.
Well, okay, wait. I can ask something I see that maybe Garth can handle, and then we can flip back. So Grelzad will turn to Garth.
Yeah.
And he'll just be like, Garth, in terms of Riley, what sort of abilities does he have? Like, was he connected to gods innately? Did he have strong abilities connected to any planes or anything like that?
Garth will produce a sword and sort of cause it to erupt in lightning a little bit. He could do this, like I can.
Was he also a Genasi?
No, Riley is a moon elf.
A moon elf. So connections to
a
the
high elf.
moon.
A high elf.
Moon, maybe goddess of the moon or something.
Maybe.
I mean,
Maybe
a lot
he
of-
did worship Coralon, but
Okay. Would that god have had any issues with gods related to Ogremok? This is a question for
That-
everybody.
that's not my domain.
Or even his Ogremok's brother?
Entomok?
Yeah.
Antimok, yes.
It seems like they have some issue with each other, so it could be relating to him as well.
Wait. And let me go back to OC. That makes me think maybe the question is, would Antimok be willing to work with us?
Well,
Be a powerful ally.
Because that like work with us is generic enough that like
yeah.
we can go find out what it means, because if he's willing to work with us, it's willing to work with us, it'll be able to at least answer questions like, hey, we seek Antimok and say, yo, your brother or your sibling is like fucking shit up. Do you know what's going on? Do you want to help? If you don't want to help, let's chill. Like, we can at
Garth
least do that.
Garth did talk to Entomok.
Oh, so there has been a conversation with Antimok before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Garth talked to Entomok was the one who granted Garth arcane weapon.
So I think we need to pivot, right? Because initially we're gonna talk to a Bistria, who's my dude, but it seems like our questions are more geared towards maybe the person Garth is communing with. Because the initial nature of the original question was if they can get us into the barrier, but it looks like we need to ask more questions about Ogremok, and this spell's a general spell to commune with the god. So
yeah, I mean, we could ask Antimok if Abishria can get us through. We can ask them that still, and then they would be a person who can answer our other questions more forthright.
Yeah. Hey Barry, and how many times can you cast this spell?
I can cast it as many times as we need. Just a note that every time I do, it gets harder to contact them.
What if it's a different god?
It doesn't matter. It's based
right.
on the day. So I mean, like,
Gotcha.
we the first time, it'll 100% I'll be able to contact whoever we're trying to contact. After that,
Does it go down to like 50?
it goes down to 75, then 50, then 25. After that, it's a no-go, no way.
Gotcha.
yeah,
So I guess
let's hope we
technically
can't
I
wait a
can do
day.
it 5 times a day.
All right.
But yeah, Garth, I'm going to tell you this right now as your friend. we cannot ask any of these questions tomorrow because I cannot be in this space tomorrow.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
Are you gonna blip out again?
Oh no, Slicer's gonna be here.
Oh,
I talk big shit, but you know,
but you're scared.
I saw that I'm scared, just that like, you know, I'm not ready yet.
Gotcha. Hey, if you need help, I have sword.
Thank you.
I got you. Do we want to talk to Entomok then? Instead?
Like, I personally think that should be the plan out of character.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
And
Wait, so wait, Antomok is a god though?
Entomok is Agamok's brother.
Right.
Agamok is evil Earth. Entomok is
Yes.
good
The
Earth.
question was, is he a god?
No.
I thought this was to communicate with a god.
Hey, Barry, would it work with Entomok? Barry?
Just thinking.
Oh, gotcha.
Maybe.
I could also just.
I feel like there would be an alternate, easier way. Like,
Hey, Entomok, you want to talk?
did Garth tell in character that he spoke to Antomok? Like, is that what he did just now?
Yeah. He sort of hinted at it before, but yeah.
And so Grelzai will put together that was when we were in the underground
kobold
chamber
yeah.
with the kobolds. And so Grelzai will immediately be like, yes, if a kobold priest can contact Antomok through communion, then I think we have an easier way to do that. And contacting a god like Abishra is with Barian, I think.
Yeah. I agree. I could just pray.
Right. Okay. So then let's ask Abishra the first most important thing, if they will get us in. Not if they can or are able, but if they will.
Because honestly, that covers if they're able to.
Yeah.
That covers
Exactly.
that. Secondly,
Well,
yes, if we ask if they will, that means they
Oh,
must
okay,
be
yeah.
able, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Second question. Is the Black Anvil in control of Ogrimmok? So, how do we think?
I kind of feel like it would be better to ask if another party or person is influencing.
So
Ogrimmok.
not Black
I
Anvil
don't
in
think-
general, just asking if somebody is controlling Ogrimmok.
Is Ogrimmok under the influence of someone else?
Yes.
Yes.
Of another being?
The Black Anvil is shit.
Well, they can be
Like,
shit,
compared to-
but you haven't seen them in a while, and they could have found, like, we found Barian. You know what I mean? They could have found,
Yeah. Okay.
you know, anti-Barian. Anyway.
That's Barian. I'm sorry, that was in character, my bad.
All right, listen. Listen, maybe one day when we're done with all this, Barian and Chase can have it out. It'll be really cool. Anyway, so
Wizard fight.
So that's the second question. Is Ogrimmok under another being's influence?
Mm.
And then, if you'll all be so kind, I would love if the third question was,
Mighty Servant.
will the mighty servant aid in our endeavor to rescue Riley from the clutches of Ogrimmok?
Would it be ever better to ask something about obtaining the mighty servant, though?
I have the utmost confidence that obtaining the mighty servant is my only purpose on this world.
No, but I'm saying, wouldn't asking like a question about obtaining it be better for that than asking would it help? Because I assume it would help. But
how about this? Would the mighty servant be required to rescue Riley from?
Or, I mean, I do like that.
I think that covers it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. I do not have concern that we can acquire it, or at least be pointed in the direction to earn it. And it might not even be we. It could just be me by myself. We'll see. All right.
So I'm down to the last question. That's cool. I just want to double check. Do we know if the mighty servant is here in Galg? You know, I've not been with you guys. So I
yeah.
haven't-
Yes. So
the last.
the Garth, please, by the gods,
Yeah. You go.
the ancients, the one called Ali Agrin, they created a mighty servant. Now, as I said, they are not to be found currently, so that method of acquiring or borrowing a mighty servant is not possible. It's possibly not possible. However, they do have an apprentice. The apprentice has built their own version of the mighty servant. The apprentice happens to be just south of here. So, I am not worried about acquiring it. So if those three questions suit, then I think Chase and Barry, and it could be time.
Look at Barry and listen to this.
All right.
No eye contact.
Grelzad's doing like fucking like how Disney movies were animated in like the 40s, like where you draw each thing on a cell, a piece of paper. He's like sketching as Barry and is doing each emotion of this spell and like everything about it. He's like going like artificer all-purpose tool going ham in his notebook about it.
Well, it's easy to copy down. Because as soon as Baron's like, all right, just I guess sit down where you want to sit. And just for DM's sake, is everybody like watching, or are y'all still sitting at the bar?
Wherever they
Garth
go
was
to do
watching.
this, yeah. Did they move? If they moved already, yeah. Grelzad is gonna follow.
Yeah, they moved to
and
the
Mike,
arena.
Yeah, Mike is gonna follow as well. Actually, one of the automatons is gonna come with two, and do like a recording of it.
Okay. So like while y'all are filing in, Barian is drawing on the ground with a piece of chalk. Is like a ring around, and then a secondary ring, and there's lines intersecting inside the ring, and there's runes all around of it. And then he pulls out a vial, and he pours it, or he gets ready to pour it. And he goes, "Are you ready?"
Ready as I'll ever be.
Right. And he pours it, and as this liquid hits the lines he drew, it starts to spread out and lights up all of the lines and the runes. And the entire room goes dark. It's darker than any dark you've ever seen. But Chase, you recognize it as the darkness within a plot hole. That sound effect was not supposed to happen.
Oh,
It's probably about to happen again because I forgot. Okay. Chasing quintessence.
Abystria. Would you be willing to help us?
Yes.
Is an outside influence person or a group influencing Algramok?
No.
Would the mighty servant? I'm sorry, Avishra. This one's really getting to me. Will the mighty servant be required in helping us in this task?
No. The darkness
you're-
fades and you return to the arena.
Oh boy. Did we hear that, or only Chase and Barian did?
Everyone heard it.
Oh, we all heard Abystria?
Yes.
Oh,
So
shit.
Griselda just look at Chase and say, "So
God.
is there like an Abyssrian language where no means yes, or?"
No always means no, no matter where you go.
You
You
okay,
know-
Chase?
My spine always feels weird after that every time.
Ah.
I kind of realized like we probably should have let you have one of the questions to ask, like why you, and help you answer.
We
Your-
don't have enough questions, but
It's an old location.
but actually,
But it's a lead, so
actually, if
they
you all
should,
could
we
just
should
give
tell
me a
them.
minute to carry on. And Grelzad's gonna go back in the other room and talk to Quincy for just a bit.
Sorry,
But
say that
you
again.
guys, you got good. Grelzad's going to talk to Quincy for just a bit. I'll send you a message, Sock. But you
All right.
guys continue talking.
And are you okay? You've been quiet.
Whole time.
Yeah, quiet the whole time. You good?
Look.
Yes, my cats were crying, so I had my mic on mute.
Got you.
Yeah, and it was just too cool for us. And then Chase walks over to her and then like slips a high five or goes for a high five.
What, shoulder bump?
No, he then puts his hand down and then goes for the shoulder bump instead. But then he says, "So, as you guys heard, Dr. Monk's doing this of his own volition, apparently.
Yeah, he's an evil fucker.
So, where are the Black Anvil? Are they south or are they in the same path as the
They
Mighty
are-
Servant?
They are in Galg at some fucking tavern called the Broken Fang.
Okay,
Like in the city of Galg, not the entire country.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Then we should start plotting our course and then heading out. I feel
You
gross.
okay?
I'm gonna take a shower first, and then. Ooh,
Yeah.
do they have baths here? I'd love a hot bath. That's a question for the group. Is there a bath here?
Hey, Barry, do you know if there's a bath here?
There is bats here.
Okay,
And rooms.
fantastic.
Sick.
Cool. Then we should
Oh,
rest
Chase,
up.
one more thing.
What's up?
Apparently, we're like a chosen group. Like, you know how in stories and stuff there are chosen ones, we're like a chosen group.
That means absolutely nothing to me. But
Sorry, we got a lot of information before you showed up, and I just wanted to make sure you got most of it.
I do appreciate. Thank you for that.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm gonna take a bath. I guess I'll talk to Grozad and we can plot the course, but looks like we know what we need to do.
Okay.
And yeah, thank you, Barian, for your help.
Thank you, Barry and
Welcome.
Clover.
Brush my teeth.
What?
Oh. You okay? Are you going to be okay meeting the Black Anvil, or do you want me to kill them all on sight?
Yeah, I just I'm gonna just step out and get some air.
Clover, wait. Grelzad walks in. He has 4 tomes with him when he walks in that appear to be the same construction as his own notebooks.
Hmm.
And he hands one to each of Chase, Clover, Garth, and Enyo. The tome says Airship Control Manual. And he says, all right, so here's the situation. And he looks to Barian. Barian,
Yes.
will you be staying nearby for the next few days?
Yes, I will be.
Could we, you and I, commune with other gods to ask a few more questions while
We
the rest
could,
of
yes.
them continue on this journey?
All right.
Because, and he looks to the rest of the group, do not take this as me abandoning.
Mhm.
I will return.
Right.
But I have spoken with Quincy, who is the greatest artificer I have met in my lifetime.
Right.
And he has agreed to allow me to apprentice with him so that he and I can
Congratulations.
build a functioning, airbound airship.
Right.
But I will not leave you without a method of transportation. And so, enclosed in these manuals are precise instructions in 7 languages on how to operate the airship. When Garth opens his up, the first page says "not you," but it's not attached and it falls out, and it's the real manual underneath.
Thanks.
I believe that is a friendship joke, Garth.
Hilarious. Yeah.
Great.
Great.
You are all trusted to
We
operate
love you guys, Ed.
the current apparatus that is now self-powered, infused with the power of the battery. The battery requires charge after a certain amount of time of travel, but there are clear indicators. S.O.C, I don't remember the distances. I'm just assuming you'll let them know with a gauge. There are clear indicators, so you know how it needs. It'll charge on its own. It just needs to be off and stationary, as described in the manual on pages 225 and 312 and 6 and 14, I think.
You wrote a whole ass novel, basically.
Yes, this is the abridged version. I didn't have time to write the full manual for everyone, so what is clearly in there, though, are the operations start and stop and how to turn it between ship mode, as in a small boat, a dirigible,
yeah.
and a land-bound vehicle. It's all contained there. If you need anything, it is all within the book, and you will be able to find it.
There's an entire chapter in here about not being able to eat burgers on the ship.
Well, there are certain foods that can spill things into the engine portions that are not conducive to riding, and I will say that if this if my creation is destroyed by me allowing you all to take it, I will be hurt and not enact revenge. I will be very hurt because he throws up, am trusting you. Throws up again.
Oh, Dad!
With my creation.
I'm a sympathetic vomiter. One sec. Garth runs outside.
Okay, Garth, come back. So, I will take as long as it needs, unless message is sent here in some manner. But it shouldn't be too long. So, I'm happy to help you chase chart courses tonight while everyone gets prepared, but I will be staying behind.
All right.
For you guys, O.S.C, I'm moving, as I'm sure you guys all know.
Yeah.
And I may not have my setup until the beginning of July, so I don't want you guys to miss any sessions. But I wanted to do a non-plot whole story thing, so S.O.C worked with me to do a cool thing. So
we'll miss you.
Thank you. And he'll kind of look to each of you and just, with a little tear in his eye, give a little nod, and
this isn't goodbye. I'd see you later.
He'll walk off, but before he does, Mike is gonna float over to Enya. And he'll whisper in her ear, "Frick." And he'll fly away.
I did.
Because Chase just kind of looks to the ground and then
These
looks
are
back at the
tears.
manual. And then like kind of goes to Inyo and like pats her on the back.
Thank you.
Hey,
All right.
Why can't he say fuck?
It's not too late. We
And
will
we
punch
will-
that baby. He will say fuck. These are the promises we've made.
Baby.
And that's where we're going to end
Mm-hmm.
today's session. So yeah,
Ah,
that's
she said
it.
it's inevitable. Fuck.
I know that Grelzad will like when he's charting the course with Chase and we mark the like destination, he's gonna definitely like in script put inevitable on that spot for him. So like if this was an episode, it would end with the two of them working on the map and Grelzad just scripting in surprisingly remarkable. Oh, by the way, the handwriting is like calligraphy. It's like this beautiful, and it's in like I think he said 7 languages, and like it's different languages for each of you. Basically, Grelzad did research, and it's in the languages each of you speak, whatever's on your character sheets that I don't know.
Dwarven, baby.
And then a couple of extra.
Is highly intelligent. You could have given her the extended version.
Apparently, if you roll 1 DF, it's -1.
See what
Oh.
fudge meant.
Huh?
I wanted to see what fudge meant. I didn't know what fudge.
Oh,
Oh, it
fudge is like
fudges the roll.
yeah, fudge is the roll. It pushes it in one direction or the other.
Yeah. All right. Well, say goodbye to stream.
Bye, stream.